Today I want to speak a little bit about this concept of survivorship bias. And survivorship bias is when a celebrity, a startup founder who became successful, they participate in these discussions and motivational podcasts, and you hear them talk about how they gave everything up. They risked absolutely everything. They quit their job. They might have gotten divorced. They basically put all of their eggs in one basket in order to become successful. And I think this is as motivational as it is, and as much as anyone who is an entrepreneur or someone who's aspiring to become great needs this type of inspiration, we have to also balance that by understanding and being conscious that for every one Kanye West, for every one Mark Zuckerberg, or someone who has put everything into their business, their craft, and become great at it, and become insanely successful at it, there's probably 100 or 1,000 people who have also failed catastrophically, who have also dedicated all of their time and energy, who have probably ignored critical aspects of their own life, perhaps it be their family, their mental health, given up stable jobs to risk and pursue this passion, this dream of theirs. And what we see today is we only hear the victor stories. The victors write the stories, they tell their tales because they survive to tell their tales. But what about all the tens of thousands of millions of entrepreneurs who, I'm not going to even say they weren't as intelligent, because some people work equally as hard and never see a day of success, or never reach that level of success that they attain for. I think anybody who gets to a really high level, elite level position in the business world, they do so from a combination of their own hard work, but hard work on its own doesn't guarantee success. There's a lot of fortune that comes into play. There's a lot of relationship building and networking, and perhaps timing. So, a long time ago, I went to, this must have been 8 or 10 years ago, that I went to a content creator event out here in New York City. And I still remember one of the most memorable advice that one of the content creators, a very successful young lady who was able to build a business by herself. And, the moderator asked her, what advice would you give to all of the audience today? And she said, I don't think she came up with this, but she said, she repeated this piece of advice, and she said, work your job full-time, work on your dream part-time. And I don't believe there's a better representation and a better piece of advice for all of the entrepreneurs, including myself. And as somebody who has worked on more than a dozen different projects over the past 15, 18 years, I know that my probability of success of turning this into a viable business to support myself, not only support myself, but support other people's livelihoods, is slim to start with. So I think there are some instances, and for some people, going all in is absolutely the right move. But for other people, you might not want to sacrifice that stability. And you might have to try to find a way to balance juggling a full-time position as well as your part-time passion, which could hopefully turn into a full-time job for you.